To do Kitchener stitch, the first step is to take a deep breath and smile and say, I can do this! The next step is to line up your knitting with the wrong sides facing inward and your needle tips facing to the right. Now, measure out your tail. Make it 3 times the width of your stitches. You can measure on your fingers like this, then add 6 inches for weaving in later, and then cut your yarn. And go ahead and measure this, because if your yarn is too long, if you're like, oh, well, I have plenty, it's going to get in your way. If it's too short, it's going to be really hard and you're going to run out of yarn. Thread the tail onto a tapestry needle. Make sure your yarn is coming off the back needle. Now we're going to do 2 setup steps. With the tapestry needle, go in purlwise into the first stitch on the front needle. Pull your yarn. Now go in knitwise into the first stitch on the back needle and push the tapestry needle through and pull your yarn snug. So those are just the setup steps. We just do them once at the beginning. Now repeat with me. Knit and then take the stitch off. Immediately go in purlwise into the first stitch and pull your tapestry needle and yarn snug. Now go in purlwise into the first stitch on the back needle, take the stitch off, and then immediately go in knitwise into the first stitch. Don't let that stitch fall off, and pull your yarn tight. So we're going to repeat those 2 basic moves, one on the front needle and one on the back needle. Here we go. Knit off, purl, and pull your yarn. Now purl, off, knit, and pull your yarn. So if you think about it, it's just 2 sets of moves. Knit off purl, purl off knit. And you will get it with practice, I promise. Knit off, purl. 1 move, pull your yarn. Whoops, and make sure that your yarn stays under your needle tips at all times. Now we go purl, off, knit. And I have some more tips to show you to make this easier, but let's take a look at this move one more time. We go knit off, purl. Make sure that the yarn does not come over the needle tips. Either one needs to stay underneath. Another tip is if you forget where you are, just pull your working yarn. You can see that you just went, let's see, we went purlwise into a stitch on the front needle. So we just did a knit off purl. If we do a purl off knit, which is the next step, you'll see if you forget where you are and you tug the working yarn, you'll be able to see, I just went in knitwise into the stitch on the back needle. So I just did purl off knit. Another tip is to use your fingertips to push the needle tips out of the stitches instead of trying to pull your stitches off the needle. Just always manage where the stitches are. Another thing is experiment with how tight you're pulling your working yarn after each stitch, okay? If we look at the stitches that I've done so far, we can see that the tension is about the same as the other stitches. Let's see. Could be a little loose right there. But just experiment with how tight you need to pull it. You're going to pull it about as tight as your regular knitting. Okay? Let's do some more and I'll show you what it looks like when this is finished. Always be watching those needle tips there. So purl off knit. Another thing is to always check to see that you have the same number of stitches on the front and back needles after a purl off knit. The sooner you realize, if you did miss a step, the sooner you realize it, the better. You'll just have to pick out the bind off until you have the same number of stitches on the front and the back again, which is fine. The more you mess up, the more you learn. And the only reason I know how to do it is because I've messed it up a bunch, so never fear. All right, when you get down to the last few stitches, we go purl off knit. When you have just 2 left, go knit off and then purl off. And you're done. Pull your yarn tight and then take your tapestry needle and stick it down into the side and pull your yarn so that the corner sort of gets disguised. And there is the finished Kitchener stitch bind off. Oh, and look, there's definitely a piece that's loose right there. I don't know what happened there. I didn't pull tight enough. Sometimes just massaging the yarn will work You can also just, if you need to, pick the line of stitches over towards the working yarn a little bit. You can just pull. Let's just fix it right now. You get a little bonus tip here. First of all, if it's too loose, it's much easier to fix than if it's too tight, right? There we go. So it can always be adjusted until it's just right. And look, it's completely invisible and perfect for the toe of a sock or something like that. So keep practicing. Don't give up. I know you can do this bind off. I'm very proud of you just for even trying.